This is just a quick technique for creating a tileable texture within Mudbox. So very easy way to do this. I've included with this tutorial one of the resources, just a simple little base plane. You can build this in any package. The difference is if you go to the UV layout, what we have here are it's actually tile, but it's overlapped. So if we go to the wireframe here, you'll see that we have this nice little plane that's comprised of 9 pieces, essentially 9 UV tiles here that are layered over top of each other in here. And what this is going to give us here is a nice way to create a tileable texture. So we could work with this middle one here, for example, and this is going to give us an idea of how it's going to tile when we work. So what we're going to do is create in the tutorial series there, I work with a tileable rock texture, which is included with the tutorial. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and actually projection paint a 2K diffuse map. So just create a new layer on there. It's showing that it has multiple UV tiles. I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. And then what we want to do with this is let's create a bit of a rock texture. So we can take any texture we want. In this case, I'll use this rock one here. I just hit W as the hotkey to turn the wireframe on. It's good to have that kind of as reference for what we're going to paint here. Now, just to keep in mind, we're going to be creating tiled texture here, so we're going to use this. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to use this as our reference. You'll see it tile all out into the different areas here as we go. So the way we can work with this is let's just pick a piece of this texture map that we want to work with. In fact, I'm actually going to change this up. Maybe work with this one here a bit. And we can just go in and build, work with this. I'm just trying to find a nice area that we can make quite tileable here. So we can work with something like that for now. And then when I start painting that, you'll see that we're getting this repeated all across. So we can overlap that and start to work that in. And then what we want to do is actually change up the position on here. You'll see that we can start to blend in and get these different kind of effects going on. So there we go. So we're just quickly creating this simple tileable texture here, and what we're going to render out if we go back to the UV view is that. There's our image that we're actually working with. This is how it's tiling. So this gives you a great preview to see what you're going to have there. Let's play with some different maps in here as well. These ones have these really defined cracks in there. This one here is nice. We'll just use this corner. And if we just paint that up, fill in these edges in here, and we can really build up this nice tileable map on here. And then again, to check that, go into the UV view. There's your texture that you're going to be working with in there. And then when you bring that into back into Mudbox, you can actually just export this layer out. So I've just painted that, and I can just go export selected. Let's export it out and take a look at it here. Rock tile. We'll just leave it as a PNG. That's fine. Actually, let's put it down to a simple JPEG. There we go. So if we want to take a look at that texture, I'm going to go into my image browser here, go into the textures down here, and we'll see that we have this rock tile that I've created, and there's our actual map. So we can just fit it into the view here, and I can zoom into it here, and this is our actual map that we're working with here. So we can bring this in and start to paint with it in Mudbox here as well, and get that nice tiled overall look that we're working with in here. So just a quick little tip on how you can create a tileable texture in Mudbox. It definitely gives you a lot of power and control over using a 2D application. You can see the overall effect on your geometry. And of course, this will work with any channel. So if you wanted some sort of tileable special specular effect or anything else that you can do in there, a bump map of course, you can use this technique as well. So I hope that helps. Thanks.